Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the day 2 of the DevOps course. Can you hear me? The chat is open now. Could you please confirm with typing yes if you can hear me? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all for your confirmations. Thank you very much. Let us stop the chat. Perfect. Good morning, everybody. So welcome to day 2. What's our plan for today? As we all know that we are learning DevOps on AWS platform. Am I right? We can learn DevOps on AWS. We can learn, as I mentioned, we can learn DevOps on AWS. We can learn the same set of tools, DevOps tools on Microsoft Azure. We can learn the same set of tools on Google Cloud Platform. Okay, the DevOps contents will remain the same. Okay, you can run it on we can learn it on multiple platforms. When you learn it on AWS, when you learn DevOps on AWS, it is called, you are called as an AWS DevOps professional. Okay, so when you learn DevOps on Azure, you are called as Azure DevOps engineer. Or you can learn DevOps on GCP, you're called as GCP DevOps engineers. Okay. But we are learning participants. If you can see the slide, which we have learned yesterday, we are learning DevOps on AWS. All the DevOps tools like Jenkins, Maven, Git, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, all the tools of DevOps we'll be learning on AWS platform. All the outputs, all the installation, everything we'll be learning on AWS. So you need to have an AWS account. You need to have an AWS account. People who are very new to AWS, participants, if you're completely new to AWS is very simple. AWS is a collection of services. That's it. What is AWS? AWS is a platform which is collection of services. If you want to use the services, you have to have an internet connection. These services are provided for us over the internet. That's called as a cloud platform. So AWS is a platform which is collection of services provided over the internet. Examples of services are EC2 for compute instances, S3 for storage, VPC for networking. So there are a lot of services available. As per the requirement, the clients will be using the required service. So I'm talking for the participants who are completely new to AWS. We cannot ignore them. If you already know AWS, please bear with us a couple of days so that everybody will be comfortable. So participants, AWS is a platform which is collection of services. You may know how many, you may ask how many services. Sunil, you're telling that the AWS is collection of services. How many services AWS is providing? If you search in the Google, total number of services in AWS. Close to 200 services. AWS is providing 200 services offered over the internet. Okay. Again, newcomers, you may ask me, Sunil, where can we experience this 200 collection of services? How can we look at it? If you want to look at this set of services which AWS provides, the URL is aws.amazon.com. The URL is aws.amazon.com. So let's do that. Sign into the console. I already have an AWS account, participants. As I already have an AWS account, I'm logging in with my AWS account using the email address and login password. This is how it looks like. The moment you log in, The moment you log in, you'll be the home page is called as console home. As I mentioned, AWS is collection of services, and as we know, there are close to 200 services. And here you have an option called services, where you can have a look at all the services. These are all the services. There are services related to analytics, services related to application integration, services related to blockchain, services related to compute instances, services related to containers, services related to database. You can get a relational database service, non-relational database, NoSQL database, services related to Internet of Things, machine learning. Okay, there are media services, there are a lot of services, storage services. Participants. So AWS is collection of services offered over the internet. Okay, so the cloud platform is nothing complex. It's nothing but collection of services. Okay, so this is how an AWS account. This you have to have an AWS account. As I'm already having an AWS account, I can log into my AWS and I can start selecting any service as per requirement and start using the services. But participants, if you're not having an AWS account, you have to create a new AWS account. Okay, I'm guiding you the steps to create a new AWS account. Our plan for today, as you can see in the screen, we learn the process of creating a new AWS account. Once the AWS account is created, we learn the process of how can we create a Linux machine on AWS. You can create any machine whatever you want on AWS platform. You can create a Linux machine, you can create a Windows machine, you can create a Mac operating system also on AWS. I'll show you how to create a Linux machine. Why are we creating a Linux machine? Why are we creating a Linux machine? We are creating a Linux machine because what is the prerequisite of DevOps? Do you remember if you look at the previous slide, previous session slide, the prerequisite of DevOps is Linux. We all should have a very good understanding about basics of Linux. So that's the reason we will be creating a Linux machine. We learn the process of connecting to the Linux machine using the terminal called PuTTY. If time permits, we'll get started with the basics of Linux. This is our plan for today. As usual, before moving on, any questions on the topics what we have learned in the previous session? Any questions related to our courses? Yes, Aziz, good morning. How are you doing?
Hey Sunil,
Yes.
so I thought you started your course starting today. I didn't know you started yesterday. So I missed
Uh,
yesterday's class.
so 1 minute, you can see, I think it is 30th
Yeah, 30, today's 30. Oh,
as per Indian time.
Indian time. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. I thought maybe.
IST, 6 a.m.
Oh yeah,
IST.
yeah, yeah. I forgot.
That's not a
Okay.
problem. The session what you have missed yesterday,
Because
it's
I
arranged.
don't have much experience in the Unix side. So
No
I'm working in the
problem, no
Windows.
problem.
So just I need.
Anyways, we have not
Do we?
started Unix, okay?
Okay. Do you have any like WhatsApp
See,
group for this training?
yesterday's session, yeah, it is there.
Okay.
One
Yeah. Can
minute.
I get my access there?
This is yesterday's session, okay? AWS DevOps,
Okay.
this is batch number 302, okay? So you can
So
go
how
to
to get
us,
that?
you can go to a channel.
Maybe can you ping that link in our chat?
This is our day one
So what did you
recording.
cover yesterday?
It's an introduction to DevOps. Please have a look at it. And
Okay.
then please join the WhatsApp group. Hmm. Did you get the WhatsApp group link? Are you in the WhatsApp group?
Uh, I registered, but I did not receive any link for joining the WhatsApp group.
Okay. So here, there will be a WhatsApp group for every batch. For this particular batch, batch number 302, this is the WhatsApp group. It's WhatsApp community. So please join this WhatsApp community to get the updates.
Okay.
Okay, Aziz?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Any more questions? Okay. Participants, let's get started the process of creating a new AWS account. If you want to create a new AWS account, okay, you have to have three details with you. You should have an email address. That's not a problem. We all have an email address. You should have a credit card or a debit card. Credit card could be difficult, but we all have a debit card. Make sure your debit card is enabled for international transactions. Okay. You have by default, your debit card will not be enabled for international transactions. You have to talk to your bank, call to customer care, or you can also do it from your mobile app. If you have a mobile app of any bank, you have to enable your debit card for international transactions. Okay. So that is very important. And you should have a mobile number. In case if you are having two mobile numbers, okay, uh, two mobile numbers, please use the mobile number which is linked to your bank account. Make sure that you use a mobile number which is linked to your bank account. If you have these three details with you, if you have an email address, if you have a credit card or a credit card which is enabled with international transactions, if you have a mobile number with you, if you have these three details with you, yes, you can go ahead and create a new AWS account. How can we create a new AWS account? The URL is, the site is aws.amazon.com. Okay, I'll show you. Please have a look at it. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign in to the console. As I already have an account, I can sign in to the console. In the sign-in form, if you have an existing account, you can sign in. But in our case, we don't have an account. Scroll down here, we have an option of creating a new AWS. Okay, so click on create new AWS. I have clearly documented. I have clearly documented the step-by-step process along the screenshots to create a new AWS account. Please have a look at it. Okay. I clearly documented step one. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Very important point. The AWS account which you are creating is 12 months free tier access. Okay, so first point, what you have to realize is that the AWS account which you're creating now is free for a period of 12 months. Okay, with some restrictions. Okay, but it is free. So whatever the practice we can do it, you can do it of DevOps tools, we can do it in this particular free tier access. It's a very important advantage to take an avail of it. So as I mentioned, you have to provide your email address. As I have mentioned, you have to provide your email address, you have to provide your login password, you have to confirm your password, and you have to mention your AWS account name, or you have to select one account name. Click on continue. Okay. So step one, we have provided your email address and the login password in step one. So this is provided. We have provided this in the step one. Next, scroll down. It is asking for contact information. It is asking for contact information. Very important observation. Please observe. There are two types of accounts. I hope it is visible. There are two types of accounts: professional account and personal account. We are creating an AWS account for our personal use. Select the account type as personal, provide your full name, provide your mobile number, provide your country. I have seen many participants providing mobile number and India country, they are not selecting as India. Okay, so make sure that the country also you select India mobile number is also Indian mobile number. So make sure that you have a valid country and mobile number. Next. So this we have mentioned in step two. Which one? The mobile number we have mentioned step two. Obviously, in step three, it will ask for your debit card details. You can see here card number. I have provided my card number and all the details. Do you have PAN? I don't need to furnish the PAN. Click on no. Click on verify and add. It will verify whether the debit card what you have entered is correct or not. It will verify whether the debit card details what you have entered is correct or not by deducting 2 rupees from your bank account. 2 rupees, as you can see here, the 2 rupees will be deducted from the provided bank account. So you'll get an OTP to verify your debit card. Okay. So this is I'm using Visa card. To verify my debit card, you will get an OTP. So you have to provide a valid OTP. Next. I have provided, you have to provide your mobile number one more time. One more time, you get an OTP to verify your mobile number. Okay, so again, you get an OTP. One OTP for verifying your debit card. Second OTP to verify whether your mobile number, what you have entered, is correct or not. AWS provides 3 types of plans, participants. AWS provides 3 types of plans: basic plan, developer plan, and business plan. Only basic plan is free. The developer plan is $29 per month and the business plan is $100 per month. Basic plan is enough for us to create a new to practice our DevOps tool. So select the basic plan. Select your role. Your role could be software engineer and you select your interest in whatever the technology you are and click on submit. That's it, my dear participants. You get a thank you message. And please check your email. You get an email saying that you have successfully created a new AWS account. Creating an AWS account is very, very simple. I hope you have realized by this time. You need to provide your email address, login password. You need to verify your debit card. You have to verify your mobile number. That's all. Your AWS account gets created. Once you get a thank you message, you get also a welcome email saying that the AWS account has been successfully created. But you cannot use it instantly. You have to wait for probably 8 hours for the AWS account to be activated. Creation is different. Your AWS account activation is different. It will take some time for the AWS account to be activated. Once an AWS account is activated, you get one more email saying that you can start using the AWS services. Okay. So you can start logging to AWS account and yes, and go to the management console, as you can see, home page, and you can select whatever the services you want. So this is how you have to create a new AWS account. Please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you the process of creating a new AWS account? I am sure a few participants are already having an AWS account, especially for the participants who are directly jumping into DevOps without having any knowledge on AWS. I hope I am very clear in explaining you. Thank you very much. I hope I'm very clear in explaining you the process of creating a new AWS account. Perfect. Okay, so please go ahead and create a new AWS account. Your AWS account is free only for a period of 12 months. After 12 months, it will be automatically converted to a paid account. Okay, so if you don't want to pay, you can stop using that particular AWS account. Okay, after 12 months. Perfect. So we are done with creating a new AWS account. Next. What is the next process? Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning. Quick question. When we are done after 12 months, do we need to delete the account or just not use it?
Just do not use it. Okay.
Okay.
When you do
Thank
not
you.
use it, your AWS account will be suspended
Okay.
automatically. Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Next. What is the next agenda? We have learned the process of creating a new AWS account. We have to learn how can we create a Linux machine on AWS. This is an AWS platform, which is collection of 200 services. Our plan is to create a Linux machine. How can you create a Linux machine? These are all compute instances. compute instances. How can you create a Linux machine? You can create a Linux machine. You can create a Windows machine. Any operating system, you can create Solaris operating system. You can create a Mac operating system, Ubuntu, whatever you want, you can create it. If you want to create these kind of machines on AWS, you have to use a service called as EC2. EC2 service is used for creating a new machines on AWS cloud. It could be Windows machines or Linux machine on any machine. Elastic Compute Cloud. So let me log into AWS. We know how to log into AWS. I already have an AWS account. Let me log into AWS and I'll show you the process of creating a new Linux machine. Let's get started. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Yes. Sign in to the console. I log in with my email address. AWS is collection of services. As you can see, there are a lot of services. Okay, these are categories, under each category, there are a lot of, for example, if you select database, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 9 services are there related to database. This is the category, and these are the list of services. 9 services are available in database. Coming to front-end develop, front-end web, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 services related to front-end and web mobile development. Coming to machine learning, these are the services available to machine learning. So what is my requirement? I want to create a new Linux machine that is under the compute section. Can you see under compute? Under compute, we have a service called as EC2. It's all about creating servers on cloud. Servers are nothing but machines. Don't worry, select the service called EC2. Go to instances. As you can see, instances, there are 2 machines. Can you see we have 2 instances? Right now, I have created 2 machines in my AWS cloud. So don't worry about the existing machines. Now I'm showing you the process of creating a new Linux machine on AWS. The process of creating a new Linux machine on AWS. Now, when you want to create a new Linux machine, the questions that comes to your mind, what flavor of Linux machine which you're planning to create? Is it a Red Hat Linux? Is it an Ubuntu Linux? Say, is it a CentOS? What flavor of Linux machine? That's all more detail about the operating system. And next, what is the hardware configuration of this Linux machine? What is the memory? That is nothing but RAM. What is the storage, hard disk? What is the hard disk of this particular? How much RAM? When you buy a laptop, we ask for the configuration, right? When you buy a laptop, we ask the configuration, how much RAM this laptop is having, how much hard disk. Similarly, when you're creating a Linux machine, the questions that comes to your mind, what is the memory of this particular Linux machine? What is the hard disk of this Linux machine? How many processors this Linux machine is having? So all these questions that comes to your mind, all these questions are you will clear once you experience the journey of creating a new Linux machine. Yes, using the service called as EC2, there are existing 2 machines. Don't worry about the existing machines. Can you see at the right side top, we have an option of creating a launch instances. We have an option of creating launch instances. I want to launch new instances. Perfect. Yes. You have to follow a process. You have to provide a name to this particular machine. When you're creating a machine, you have to provide a name to the machine. Okay. Operating system, you have to select the operating system. Next, you have to select the instance type. Instance type is about hardware configuration. You have to select the key pair. Key pair is all about the process of connecting to that Linux machine. Next, network security. So it is all about networking options of that particular Linux machine. Configuration of storage. It is about the hard disk of that particular Linux machine. So these are all the details. You have to provide the right details as per your requirement so that the Linux machine gets created. Let's proceed. Starting with name of the Linux machine. I want to name this machine as, name of the machine can be anything. I'm naming the machine as with my name, Sunil. This is the machine name. Okay. Scroll down. Operating system images. What kind of Linux machine? You can create Amazon Linux, Mac operating system, Ubuntu. You can create a Windows machine, Red Hat, SUSE Linux. There are a lot of options. I want to go ahead with creating an Ubuntu or Linux. I'm selecting an option called Ubuntu operating system. Okay. I'm selecting an Ubuntu operating system. Scroll down. You can see here, these options will change. The moment I'm selecting an Ubuntu operating system, the moment I'm selecting a Ubuntu operating system, you can also see Ubuntu, which version it's 24.04. This is the operating system version which I'm selecting. Okay. Scroll down. So we got the information about the operating system. The operating system is Ubuntu. Okay. Now what about the RAM, hard disk, and processors? Scroll down. Instance type. There are many instance types available. We are creating an instance. Machine is nothing but called an instance. What type of instance? We are creating, what is the default option? T2. What is the default option? T2 micro. And observe this default option instance T2 type pro is eligible for free tier. Make sure that whenever you're selecting an option, make sure that it is eligible for free tier. Make sure that it is eligible for free tier. Got it? Let's say if you don't select T2 micro, there are a lot of instance type. For example, if you're selecting, see, observe here, T2 micro is eligible for free tier. Whereas T2 small, is it eligible for free tier? No. T2 medium, there are a lot of instance type. T2 large. There are a lot of instances types. If I'm selecting T2.x large, that means this instance comes with 4 processors, 16 GB memory. If you select T2x large, the hardware configuration will be 4 processors and 16 GB memory. But it is not free. Please make sure that you are selecting the free tier option. The only instance type which is eligible for free tier is T2 micro. So what is the hardware configuration of T2 micro? The T2 micro family is nothing but 1 CPU and 1 gigabyte memory. So we got the option. So the memory is 1 gigabyte, very small. And how many processors? We have 1 processor. Okay. Coming to the hard disk. What is the hard disk of hardware configuration? I'm coming to that point. First, I have selected operating system as Ubuntu. Next, I have selected what is the family. The family I have selected as T2 micro. The T2 micro family comes with 1 GB of RAM and 1 CPU. So that will be the hardware configuration. Next, it is asking for key pair. Very important. Whenever you, let's say you have successfully created a Linux machine. Once you successfully create a Linux machine, obviously the next thing what you will do from your personal laptop or desktop, you try to connect to the Linux machine. Agree? Once you create a Linux machine, if you want to use that particular Linux machine, you have to get connected to that Linux machine. If you can connect to the Linux machine only when you have key pair with you. Only when you have a key pair. Key pair is a file. Key pair is a file. In other words, the file extension is .ppk file. Or .pem file. It can be .pem file or it can be .ppk file. So you have to download that particular file. Very, very important. You have to download the key pair. That's what I'm doing now. Key pair, you can have an option of creating a new key pair. Key pair name can be anything. Key pair name can be anything. I'm naming it as Sunil KP with today's date 01. This is the name of the key pair. Key pair comes in 2 formats. One is PEM file and PPK file. I'm selecting PEM. Create key pair. When I'm creating key pair, it is asking you to download the extension. So it is asking you to download a key pair. Yes, I want to download the key pair. Let me download it in my E drive. Folder, 6 a.m. This is the location where I'm downloading key pair. You can see here the key pair has been downloaded. Okay. Key pair is nothing but file with extension. It's a small file of 2 KB. This file helps in connecting to the Linux machine. Okay, so it will ask you to download a key pair. Yes, we have downloaded the key pair. Where is the location of the key pair? Take a note of the location of the key pair. The key pair is available in this particular location. That's fine. Next. Scroll down. Network settings. Don't disturb the network settings. It's all about opening the ports. Take the default options. Configure storage. By default, it comes with 8 GB of storage. Okay. The hardware configuration, the storage configuration is 8 GB. That's good. That's good. That's all. We are done with providing the required details. You can just review the summary. You can see we are creating number of instances as one. This is an Ubuntu 24 version. The type of the instance is T2 micro and the storage is 8 GB. That's all done. And we are already downloaded the key pair. Go ahead and click on launch instance. You have successfully initiated the instance, successfully launched. Scroll down. We have an option of going to view all instances. Previously, there was only 2 instances. Now you can see the 3 instances. This is the new instance which you have just now created. It's still pending. It's not started. It just takes less than a minute for the machine to get into started state. Okay, refresh. Perfect. Now it is in running state. So participants, we have learned the process of creating a new Linux machine. The name of the machine can be anything. The name of the machine is Sunil. This machine is of T2 micro. Okay, machine, perfect. Machine is successfully created. Every machine will have an IP address. You can see here. This is the IP address details of the machine. Okay, very good. This is all details about the particular Linux machine. So we have successfully created a Linux machine. Next. Next. How can I connect to that Linux machine? How can I connect to the Linux machine? Participants, very important point. Very important point. I have a question to you. We have created a Linux machine, no doubt. My question to you is, where did we create the Linux machine? Where did we create the Linux machine? Your answer could be, Sunil, we have created Linux machine on AWS Cloud. You're right, we have created Linux machine on AWS Cloud. My point is, in which location you have created an AWS account in this particular Linux machine? Very important observation. Please go to your AWS account. This is the machine which you have created. Right now, you have created this machine in which region? Can you see here? We have created in Mumbai. AWS is maintaining data centers in Mumbai. AWS maintains data center in US, Singapore, Australia, Europe. Almost worldwide, AWS is having their data centers. So you have created this particular Linux machine in the Mumbai data center. So remember, when you're creating an instance, make sure that you remember in which region you have created AWS region. If you don't want to create it in Mumbai, let's say you want to create it in Singapore, you can do that. So scroll down, there's an option of locations here. You can go ahead and select the Singapore option. The process remains the same. So I'm selecting the Singapore option. There are no instances in this region, but if you want, you can create a same mission in Singapore. It's up to you. Okay. So remember, so we have created, take a note of it. So we have created in the Mumbai region. So when you're creating, when you log in for the first time, please observe where you have I recommend you to go to Mumbai because Mumbai is the nearest region for us. So we are done with creating the Linux machine. Not only creating the Linux machine, now we should be in a position to connect to that Linux machine. How can, so I'm based out of Hyderabad. I'm based out of Hyderabad. So my plan is to connect to a Linux machine which is somewhere running in Mumbai data center. How can I connect? Okay. Now, next thing what we have to learn is the process of creating a process of connecting to this particular Linux machine. Yes, Aziz.
No, I'm good. I thought maybe you already show where
Okay.
to select the region.
Regions. Okay.
Thanks.
Perfect. So the Linux machine is running in Mumbai. Now I'm based out of Hyderabad. How can I connect to that Linux machine? How can I connect to the Linux machine? You need a terminal, participants. You need a terminal to connect to that Linux machine. One such kind of terminal is PuTTY. PuTTY is one terminal which is helping you to connect to the Linux machine. There's one more terminal called Git Bash. There are two terminals available to connect to a Linux machine. There are a lot of terminals. In fact, the popular terminals are PuTTY and Git Bash. So using the terminal PuTTY, you can connect to the Linux machine, or using the terminal Git Bash, you can connect to the Linux machine. I want to show you the process of connecting to the Linux machine using Git Bash terminal. Okay, perfect. So what we need to do, we need a terminal called as Git Bash. What is Git Bash? Git Bash is a terminal. Okay, so first thing what you have to do, you have to install Git Bash in your laptop. The terminal should be available in your laptop. So you have to install Git Bash. Okay, so search for Google Git Bash download. Git Bash download. Take the first option. I want to download for what operating system? My laptop is Windows. Select Windows. Click here to download. I want to download in my downloads folder. So download started. It's a 64 MB file. So what I am doing, participants, I'm using a terminal called as Git Bash. Where I have to install Git Bash, I have to install Git Bash in my personal laptop. So I'm downloading this particular tool. Once the tool is downloaded, and then we will be using that particular tool Git Bash to connect to the Linux machine. I think it just takes 2 minutes. It just takes 3 minutes for the terminal to get downloaded. Yes, that is.
Did you guys install anything yesterday's class? Hello?
Let's wait for the file to be done. Yes, sir. Yes.
Did you guys install anything yesterday's class?
It's a demo session. We
Oh,
have not
nothing is
installed
installed?
anything.
Okay, okay, thanks.
We are done. So participants, we have successfully downloaded this tool called as Git Bash. And very important observation, this is the tool which you have downloaded, the terminal which is helping us to connect to the Linux machine. It's an exe file. Obviously, it's an exe file, we install it. So let's proceed and install this particular Git Bash. Are you sure you want to install? Yes. Just take all the default options. Next, 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 next. Install. I strongly recommend participants, you also please download this tool, Git Bash. Create a Linux machine if you're not created. Create an AWS account if you have not having it. Do not neglect. Practicals are very important. Yes, Forka.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask how to connect using PuTTY. Is it still going to be the same way?
It is similar. Both the PuTTY as well as Git Bash are both similar. In the coming sessions, I'll also show you how can we connect using PuTTY. But as of now, let's proceed with this terminal Git Bash.
Okay, thank you.
Both are
Okay.
similar. We are done. Installation of this terminal Git Bash, finish. The terminal has been installed. How can I verify is Git Bash successfully installed in my laptop or not? Just go to search option and search for the terminal what you want. Can you see here? Are you able to see Git Bash? That means it has been successfully installed. Okay, so this is how a terminal looks like. Okay, so let me close the terminal. So the terminal is ready. The required terminal is available installed in my personal laptop. So how can I connect? Okay, the moment if you want to connect, so go to your AWS account, select the machine which you want to connect. This is the machine which I want to connect. Click on connect button. When you click on connect button, very important, you need to go to SSH client. Your Git Bash is nothing but the SSH client. Git Bash, PuTTY, these are all SSH clients. So you need to go to the SSH client. This will be the SSH command. This is the connection string. Let me copy this and show it to you. This is the connection string. So this string helps you to connect to that Linux machine. That SSH command helps you to connect to Linux machine. And this particular command, observe, this command requires PEM file. KP01, Sunil KP01. What is PEM file? Do you remember? PEM file is an extension .pem. Keypair is an extension .pem. Whenever you're creating a Linux machine, it is asking you to download a keypair. Where did we download the keypair? We already have taken a location where the keypair has been downloaded. The keypair is downloaded in E drive today, DevOps 6 a.m. Let's go to the location where the keypair is available. Yes, this is the location where the keypair is available. So you have to go to that location where the PEM file, keypair is nothing but file extension .pem file. In this location, you have to open the terminal. Your terminal should open in the same location where the PEM file is available. So right click on this space. Don't right click on the file. Do not right click on the file. So in this particular free space, open space, right click, there's an option called Open Git Bash from here. Your Git Bash terminal should point to this particular location. So open Git Bash here option. Yes, now my Git Bash is pointing to E drive today folder DevOps 6 a.m. Yes, I'm pointing to this location. And in this particular location, what command you have to run? You have to run the SSH command. Where did we get the SSH command? This is the SSH command AWS is providing for us. Copy this SSH command. Right click, paste the SSH command. Just press enter. Are you sure you want to connect to this Linux machine? Just type yes. Please observe, my dear participants, we have successfully connected to a Linux machine. Yes, how do you confirm it? You have an IP address. 172.31.13.165. Is it the same IP address? Please verify. Please observe. 172.31.13.165. Are you getting the same IP address? Perfect. I have successfully connected to the Linux machine. Happily, I can do hands-on on Linux. Let me show you one more time. How can I connect? How can I disconnect? Click on exit to disconnect the connection. Click on one more time exit to close the terminal. I repeat again. We have terminal git bash, which is used for connecting to the Linux machine. And the connection string is select the machine, click on connect. This is the connection string which you have it. I have the connection string ready with me. So this particular connection string, where should we run it? We should run it on git bash. So where should we open the git bash? The git bash should be opened in the location where the PEM file is available, because the connection command uses the PEM file, uses this file. So this particular command runs successfully only when this file is available. So open the location in this particular location, in this particular free space, right click, open the terminal from here. You remember your terminal should point out to this particular location where the PEM file is available. And here you have to copy the SSH command and paste the SSH command. You have successfully connected to the Linux machine. You have successfully connected to the Linux machine. Perfect. ls to see list of all the files. There are no files, there are no directories because it's empty file. Date is a command in Linux which will print the current date. Who am I is a command which will show you the current user using which you have connected. You have connected using the Ubuntu user. pwd anyways will show in detail. pwd is a command which will show you the current location in which you have connected. So very important point is to learn Linux, and we'll be learning Linux on this particular environment. Yes, Rachel.
I'm trying to paste my key. It's not pasting. I don't know why.
For pasting, are you using Control V?
I have used Control V. I've used my right click. It's not.
This is the copy. You have copied the command.
Yeah.
Right click, paste.
When I do that, it's not. I don't know why it's not. It's not right clicking.
Let's try.
I can see the cursor moving, blinking, but it's not. It's not giving me the.
I'm not sure.
It's
Please
not.
try.
I don't know why.
Try from a different machine if you have it. Okay. Perfect. Okay, very important practice. If you are done with your practicing of Linux, exit. To disconnect from the Linux machine, one more time exit. To close the terminal. Next point. Next point. Once you're done practicing Linux commands or practicing your DevOps tools, don't immediately sign out. Don't sign out. That's not a right practice. The first option, what you have to do, you can see the machine is in running state. You have to stop the machine. You can see like other machines are stopped. You have to stop the machine. As AWS account is free for 12 months, don't misuse it. It is free with some limitations. So make sure you properly handle your free account. Select the machine. Once you're done with your practicing, once you're done using the machine, so you have to go to instance state. They have an option called stop the machine. To confirm, to stop the machine, yes, I want to stop it. It will just take less than a minute for the machine to get stopped. So you have to stop the machine and then happily sign out. Next day, when you log in again, you have to start your machine. Let me log in again. What is the service? We have to go for compute. Under compute, we have service called EC2. Go to instances. Remember in which region you have created the AWS EC2 machine. So you have to point to that same region. This is the machine I think we have just now created. I can rename the machine for my understanding. I'm renaming it as DevOps 6 a.m. batch because I'll be using this particular machine for 6 a.m. batch. So right now the machine is stopped. You have to first start the machine. Properly, you have to stop and start the machine. The machine is in running state. Click on connect. Take the SSH command. Open the terminal from the location where the PEM file is available. And then copy your SSH command. Are you sure you want to connect? Yes, you have successfully connected to Linux machine. Clear? Clear about this? Okay. So let me get started with few commands of Linux. We all should be very good in commands of Linux. I want to create a file F1. I want to create a file. The name of the file is F1. How can I create a file? Whenever you want to create a file, we have a cat command. Cat command is used to create a file. So the syntax is cat greater than, use the greater than symbol, mention the file which you want to create F1. The file gets created, write the content of the file, and then come out of the cat command by using Control D. Let's experience it. I want to create a file with the name F1. Please observe here. So cat greater than, mention the file name which I want to create F1. The file gets created. Please observe here. The file gets created. Now my control is inside the file. The content which I want to write it is, for example, hi all. Good morning. Welcome to DevOps course. Thank you. So this is the 4 lines of content which I want to write it into the file, and how to come out of the cat command back to $prompt. If you want to come out of the cat command, you have to use Control D, the short Control D key sequence, which helps you to come out of the cat command. So I'm using Control D. I'm done. I'm out from the cat command back to my $prompt. I'm done with creating a file F1. Similarly, can I create one more file F2? Yes, what's there in it, you can do it. So cat greater than F2. So whatever the content you want to write it, please write it. And how to come out of the cat command, Control D to come out of the cat command. So I'm done with creating 2 files. How to see list of all the files? Whenever you want to see list of all the files, we have a command called ls, stands for list. You can see here ls stands for list. You can see here the 2 files F1 and F2. So this is how you can create a file. Remember, if you want to create a file, you have to use greater than symbol. Use greater than symbol if your requirement is to create a file. Now, I don't want to create. How to clear the screen? We have an option clear, which helps you to clear the screen. Next point. Use greater than symbol if you want to create a new file. Now, I don't want to create a new file. I want to see the content present in the file F1. We have 4 lines of content. Good morning, welcome to DevOps and all those. If you want to see the content present in the file, we have a command called cat F1. We have a command called cat F1, which helps you to see the content present in the file. Please observe here. If you are able to read the content, if you want to see the content, don't use greater than symbol. Use greater than symbol only when you want to create a new file. Okay, so ls to see list of all the files. Clear? Clear about this is how you can deal with files. Perfect. Exit to disconnect the connection. One more time, exit to close the terminal. And once you're done, please stop the instances and log out of the AWS account. This is how you have to handle the AWS account. Yes, we are done with our agenda for today's session. We have learned the process of creating a new AWS account. If you're not having an AWS account, please go ahead and create a new one. Experience the process of creating a Linux machine. When you don't want a machine permanently, you can remove it by using an option called terminate. Terminate is nothing but permanently deleting the instance. I don't want to permanently delete it. I want to stop it so that I will use it tomorrow. So please stop the instances. Okay, how can we connect to the Linux machine? We have learned what's not putty by using the terminal called as git bash. We have connected to the Linux machine. Okay, clear? Perfect. Yes, I hope you have enjoyed the session. What's our plan tomorrow? Tomorrow is day 3. What is the plan tomorrow? Tomorrow completely we will be learning practicals of Linux. I will be starting the Linux machine. I'll be connecting to the Linux machine and we'll get started working with Linux. The complete tomorrow session is all about how can we deal with files, how can we deal with directories. Frequently used to changing the directories, print command, pwd command, whoami command. So getting started with how can we copy a file, how can we read the information. Okay, so very, very important topics for the session tomorrow. Yes, Aziz.
Can you show me that day 1 agenda? The one
You
you
want
guys
to
did
have the
yesterday?
day 1 agenda.
And can you
One.
share this link also? Today's
Which
link,
one?
today's
You will get it in the
recording.
WhatsApp group. Okay. Or you can
Oh, in the
also have
WhatsApp.
yeah, you'll get it. Also, you can have it in our YouTube channel. This is day 1 agenda. Okay. It's all about introduction to DevOps. We have understood about waterfall model and agile model. We have looked at the disadvantages of waterfall model. We had an understanding about agile model. Okay. So we have understood about the need for DevOps to fill the gap between development team and the operations team. We have an understanding about operations team responsibility. We have learned about DevOps and its importance, and this is the course content which we'll be covering as part of our training course. Okay.
So
Clear?
do you have these documents in our
You'll get
website?
it. Yes, yes. Not website. You'll get it in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I
You will
joined
also
the
get in.
WhatsApp group. Can you just check, make sure you see my message?
You want the notes, right? The PPTs.
Yeah, PPTs also. Yeah, please.
You will get it. You will get it from the portal. You have to sign up from the portal.
Okay.
Okay, and then you'll get it. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
See you tomorrow for much more learning on practicals of Linux commands. Have a good time. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.